My girlfriend and I watched a movie last night. I want to talk about it. This movie is The Wild Robot. Whenever I first saw this movie, I thought it was going to be one of those, here's a robot, here's a human, they fight something, end of story, everything's great, yada yada, like normal copy and paste storyline. This was not that. I spent a good chunk of the movie being like, when do the humans come? Spoiler alert. They don't. Well, they kind of do in some sense. The color scheme of this movie was amazing. It was great. I absolutely loved it. I'm colorblind and I still thought that it was enjoyable. The story aspect of it, I'm gonna be real. This movie made me cry about 4 times. And if you watch this as a father with a child, expect to do the same. I think that on every age level, there's something to take away from this movie. If you're a kid, there's colors, there's a cool story, there's a robot, there's animals, there's just things to enjoy in that aspect. If you're a parent, this has a different outline. As I am a father of a now 4-month-old, this touched me a little bit because it's a growing story. It's a coming of age for an animal in this, and as you catch bits and pieces of it, it's a tearjerker. I'm not gonna lie. They really just hit the nail on the head with this one as far as story goes. It's super simple. Everything makes sense. The emotional roller coaster of what's gonna happen next, and I caught myself being really invested and having to be like this. So I'm like, I'm crying, I'm crying. And then when my girlfriend looks over and goes, "Are you crying?" I just do the whole, "Oh man, my eyes watering, man." I got something in it about 4 times in this movie for some reason. IMDb gives this movie an 8.2 out of 10, and I think an 8.5, 9 is more of the route that I would say. I don't think anybody's had a review that has been lackluster in this. Wow, there's a lot of 1-star reviews. I don't know what anybody else would be saying about this where they're just like negative. User reviews, featured review rating. Oh my god. Oh my god. No way. The 1-star review, unnecessary language in all caps. My kids 4 and 7 weren't very captivated by the Wild Robot movie, and neither were we as parents. The film seemed laden in intense, unnecessary language and felt unsuitable for young children, such as words kill, die, dead, hate, jerk, murder, and phrases like, "Are you going to kill us?" These are used repeatedly from start to finish, which surprised us as the film is presumably aimed at family audience. I just don't know how these producers approved these scripts. The overuse of these terms added a darker tone to what could have been a more approachable, family-friendly experience. I was not impressed. The language even impacted my little boy whilst in the cinema, and my 4-year-old commenting, "Daddy, you're going to die," which was very upsetting. Adding to the disappointment, the robot's voice seemed miscant. It felt weak, forced, and unnatural, making it hard for us to connect with Roz, the main character. The voice casting choice really made the robot feel less engaging. Are you kidding me? Okay, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this. The whole movie is about a robot with AI speaking in that tone that everyone is aware would be like an AI back and forth, and the robot itself learning to have some sense of feeling and emotion and understanding what love is. So the realness to it of basically, I'll hit the plot points real quick. Roz the robot finds her way on an island, is trying to figure out someone to give her a task because those robots are made to complete a task no matter what, pretty much. In this, going through the woods looking for someone, she comes across many animals. These animals don't like her, call her a monster. She eventually gets into trouble and then ends up falling on a tree, killing a family of geese, and 1 egg survives. The movie is her raising this egg because she gets tasked with the ability to do the 3 main things: eating, swimming, flying, for this goose. In this, it is heavily talked about the fact of predator-prey balance in wilderness. So whenever an animal asks to the monster, "Are you going to kill us?" That's a good question. That makes sense because these animals are faced with death every single day, as every animal is. I don't know what Karen wrote this review, but 1 out of 10 is what I would give her as a rating on this scale. This movie is great. Yeah, somebody even said great visuals with poor cliche story, weak character development. If you ever want to see a whole bunch of people that are absolutely sad, come to the Wild Robots IMDb page, look at the reviews, and sort it by the least, and you're gonna see the absolute saddest people. This movie was great. If you don't like this movie, you might want to do a little bit of soul searching. You can check out BetterHelp, not a sponsor, but maybe one day. And yeah, that's about it.